Well, good afternoon. Wow, what a beautiful day out here. It's got to be 80 degrees, very little wind. Uh, got all my chores done. I couldn't find my wife. I went out into the garage and there she was. She was sitting out in the garage all by herself. And she was going through the junk mail, the news flyers and all of that stuff. And she was going through each one looking for sales and coupons and ripping this up. And, you know, I mean, no radio or nothing. Is that strange? So she saw me grabbing my tripod and heading this way, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to go out on the front porch, relax, and talk to myself." Yeah, she says, "Oh, you're funny." I said, "I'm funny. What are you doing?" But anyway, that's all there is. We got the yard mowed yesterday. Uh, I was able to do a little practice on my computer today. It hasn't been a very productive day, but still I'm enjoying it. I mean, I still remember the winter. I just can't handle winter anymore. The confinement, the lack of fresh air. For those people living in warmer climates, it sure does look inviting. But there's pluses and minuses to everything. Here I know people. We don't socialize like we used to. I mean, maybe it's getting old, right? But I can't go someplace and stay up all night listening to the same old things, doing the same old things, hearing the same conversation. It's just no fun. Frankly, it's Nene and I have more fun by being with each other. But anyway, talking about February and January and March and December, I mean, it's really cold here. And we stay inside the house all buttoned up. All the windows are closed, and the heat from the furnace, and it comes out of the furnace vents, and I have to change the filters all the time. And, it's just stale air. Here I am, I'm sitting on my front porch, and wow, it's just lovely. The temperature is just mild. There's fresh air blowing by. I'm not being bothered by bugs or anything. It's so nice. So here in Michigan, we don't have sharks in Lake St. Clair or the Detroit River. We don't have earthquakes to speak of. I mean, we had one a year or two ago, I guess. It was a little boom, and that was it. We don't have huge floods in this area that I'm in. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have volcanoes. We don't have huge forest fires. We get tornadoes in the state from time to time, but nothing like the Midwest, out there in Kansas and Oklahoma and all of that. Uh, we don't get tsunamis. We don't get any of that foul weather. It's just that in Michigan, the winter it's too long. Too long. I'm happy with that Canon G7X Mark II camera. Very happy. It has a 20.1 megapixel sensor in it. And that makes it really great because it's a quality camera. It has a lot of pixels to work with. And you can take it anywhere because it's so small. And you can do vlogging with it, hold it up and talk. And it's zoom lens instead of, like the GoPros that people use. The GoPros, you can't zoom with those in and out, but you can with the Canon G7X. And then the pictures you get, you can shoot just like with a regular DSLR camera. You can shoot on manual or shutter priority or any different of the modes you can switch, and then it has all these other little things where it's computer programmed. You just push a button and it will do HDR, push a button, it will do panoramic. It's It's a cool little camera. If any of you are looking for a good camera, they run about $600 now. But you know what? For the average person that wants good pictures, the average person that wants good pictures, not just point and shoot, it's a great camera. So it's called the Canon G7X Mark II. Good camera. That's good for me to carry around. My favorite camera is, of course, my Nikon D750. It's a full frame camera. You know, like the regular, the lower priced Canons or the lower priced Nikons that are, in the $600 range. They're what they call a crop sensor camera, and their sensor in there is like half the size of a 35 millimeter slide. A full frame camera, like this Nikon D750, is a full sensor. It is the full size of a 35 millimeter camera, and it just gives you a lot more pixels to work with. I mean, you can get more colors and more depth and more quality focus. It's a super camera, but it costs a little bit more. But they have these cameras that are running now, the mirrorless cameras. They're $6,000 and above $6,000 for a camera. I'm not into photography that much. I'm still at the hobby stage. So food, okay, food, that's a good one. I'm starting to think that it's better for me just to go out and eat every day. Cheaper. No, seriously. I can get coupons in the mail, in those circulars and flyers, and I can go someplace and I can get a dinner or buy one and get half off the next dinner. But I can get those and I can eat 2 or 3 days on what I get. If I go to the grocery store, I got to come home and I got to cook it, because my wife doesn't cook American style food. She cooks her food from her country. And so if I want to eat American, I have to, and what is American? I have to prepare it myself or go get it myself. And I'm thinking it's almost cheaper than going to the grocery store, because invariably when I go to the grocery store, I'm taking my wife with me. So now there's 2 of us, and she's shopping. She's buying other stuff. And actually I do too. I end up buying a bag of beef jerky or some other stupid thing I never would have bought. But if I go out and if I just get something to eat for dinner, that's it. I get the food and bring it home. And tomorrow we're getting storms, so I don't know what they're going to be like. Down south there's going to be worse, but up here we haven't had any really bad storms, just a lot of rain. As I sit on the porch, this is my neighborhood, just like Mr. Rogers.